3:47 a.m. local time. Iranian missile launch detected. Multiple sites across western Iran ignite simultaneously. Israeli radar systems lock onto the threat signature within seconds. 300 ballistic missiles climb through the atmosphere. The largest single strike in Middle Eastern history. Global Conflict Room brings you inside the command center, where every second determines survival. The missiles arc toward Israeli airspace. Flight time, 7 minutes. Iron Dome batteries activate across the country. Interceptor missiles launch from dozens of positions. The sky lights up with contrails and explosions. But the math is brutal. 300 incoming threats, 200 available interceptors. The defense system was never designed for saturation attacks of this scale. Battery commanders report ammunition depletion within 90 seconds. Reloads require 4 minutes. The missiles keep coming. What should Israeli command prioritize first? A. Protect cities. B. Protect military bases. C. Immediate retaliation. Central Command faces an impossible calculation. Interceptors protecting Tel Aviv deplete first. Jerusalem defense grid shows critical ammunition levels. Haifa batteries fire their last missiles. Southern batteries still have capacity, but northern threats overwhelm available assets. The Iron Dome system connects to a central command algorithm that prioritizes targets based on trajectory calculations and population density. Under normal circumstances, the system performs with 90% efficiency. But saturation attacks exploit a fundamental vulnerability. You cannot intercept what you cannot reach. Military doctrine requires protecting strategic assets that enable retaliation capability. Humanitarian law demands protecting civilian population centers. Command has 120 seconds to reprogram defense priorities. The algorithm can redirect southern interceptors northward. This leaves southern cities exposed, or maintain current coverage and accept breakthrough strikes in the north, or abandon interception entirely and launch immediate counterstrikes against Iran. Each option carries catastrophic implications. The defense minister enters the command center. Screens show missile trajectories converging on Israeli airspace. Intelligence confirms the missiles carry conventional warheads. No nuclear signatures detected. But conventional warheads hitting power stations or chemical facilities could trigger secondary disasters. The Prime Minister joins via secure video link. Washington is on another screen. The U.S. President promises support, but American defense systems in the region cannot intercept ballistic missiles already in terminal phase. What happens next determines the next decade. Military advisors present 3 scenarios. Scenario 1. Redirect all remaining interceptors to protect Tel Aviv and Jerusalem exclusively. Accept that secondary cities will sustain direct hits. Casualties estimated between 2,000 and 8,000, depending on warhead dispersion and shelter effectiveness. But the government survives. Command and control remains intact. Scenario 2. Distribute interceptors evenly across all threatened zones. This guarantees partial protection everywhere, but complete protection nowhere. Casualties spread across the country. Estimated total, 3,000 to 12,000. Public perception of government failure to protect any location adequately. Scenario 3. Cease interception immediately. Redirect all resources to immediate retaliation. Launch strike packages against Iranian missile sites, command centers, and nuclear facilities. This guarantees Israeli casualties climb above 10,000, but it demonstrates resolve and potentially degrades Iranian capability for follow-on strikes. The room goes silent. Outside, air raid sirens wail across Israeli cities. Citizens crowd into shelters. Hospitals activate mass casualty protocols. The defense minister asks the critical question: can we confirm this is the only wave? Intelligence cannot confirm. Iranian doctrine suggests follow-on strikes within 20 to 40 minutes if initial strike succeeds. Satellite imagery shows additional launch sites remain active. This might be the opening salvo of a sustained campaign. If Israel exhausts all interceptors on this wave, the next wave is zero opposition. Necessary deterrence or dangerous escalation? The Chief of Staff argues for immediate retaliation. Every minute of delay allows Iranian commanders to relocate mobile launch systems. Striking now destroys static infrastructure and sends an unmistakable message. But the foreign minister warns that striking Iranian nuclear facilities risks accusations of escalation. Russia has defense agreements with Iran. China has economic partnerships. A strike on Iranian nuclear sites might trigger international intervention. The U.S. president urges restraint until the current wave is assessed. 90 seconds remain before first impacts. The Iron Dome batteries continue firing. Interceptors streak upward. Explosions bloom across the sky. Some missiles fragment. Others push through. The defense algorithm requests immediate guidance on priority reallocation. A technician reports that 6 missiles are tracking toward Dimona. The reactor site has dedicated defense systems, but these missiles approach from an unexpected vector. Protecting Dimona requires pulling interceptors from Tel Aviv's coverage zone. The Prime Minister must decide now. Protect the reactor or protect the city. Protecting both is mathematically impossible. Which system activates first in a missile alert? A. Radar. B. Satellites. C. Command link. The answer determines how much warning time exists for subsequent waves. Israeli early warning relies on satellite detection of launch plumes. Radar confirms trajectories. Command links distribute targeting data to defense batteries. The sequence provides approximately 7 minutes of warning for ballistic missiles launched from western Iran. But if Iranian missiles launch from closer positions, or if they use depressed trajectories, warning time collapses to 3 minutes or less. The defense minister orders priority protection for Tel Aviv and the reactor. Jerusalem's coverage reduces by 40%. Haifa drops to 20%. Southern cities receive minimal coverage. The decision is made. Interceptors redirect. The algorithm recalculates engagement sequences. Missiles begin impacting. First strike hits an industrial zone outside Haifa. No interceptor reached it. Explosion visible from the command center cameras. Second impact. Residential area in Ashkelon. 12-story apartment building collapses. Third impact. Open farmland. Fourth impact. Highway junction. Traffic scattered. The strikes continue. Tel Aviv's defenses hold. The reactor remains protected, but the outlying cities sustain direct hits. Casualty reports flood the command center. Initial estimates: 4,000 dead, 12,000 wounded. Infrastructure damage extensive. Power grids failing in 3 cities. The Prime Minister authorizes immediate retaliation. Strike packages launch within minutes. Israeli F-35s cross into Iraqi airspace. Cruise missiles launch from submarines in the Red Sea. The targets: Iranian missile production facilities, command bunkers, and Revolutionary Guard bases. Notably absent from the target list: nuclear facilities. The restraint is deliberate. Escalation has limits even in retaliation. The strikes hit within 18 minutes. Iranian air defenses engage. Some missiles intercept. Most reach their targets. Explosions ripple across western Iran. The Iranian command center in Tehran goes dark. Secondary explosions indicate ammunition storage hits. Israeli intelligence estimates 60% degradation of Iranian immediate strike capability. But the cost was staggering. 4,000 Israeli civilians dead, the worst single-day casualty count since 1973. The Iron Dome system performed as designed, but faced an impossible scenario. Saturation attacks expose the fundamental limitation of any missile defense. You can only intercept what you have ammunition to engage. Global Conflict Room examines what happens when defensive systems meet their operational limits. The aftermath begins immediately. International media broadcasts footage of destroyed Israeli neighborhoods. Iranian state television shows burning military facilities. The UN Security Council convenes emergency sessions. Russia condemns Israeli retaliation as disproportionate. The US defends Israeli actions as legitimate self-defense. China calls for immediate ceasefire. Regional actors calculate their next moves. Hezbollah mobilizes in Lebanon. Syrian air defenses activate. Saudi Arabia quietly coordinates with Israel on intelligence sharing. The entire Middle East stands on the edge. Intelligence reports suggest Iranian leadership debates a second strike wave. Hardliners demand escalation. Moderates recognize the damage sustained. The decision rests with the supreme leader. Israeli command prepares for renewed attack. Iron Dome batteries reload. Medical teams work through mass casualties. The government faces immediate questions. Why did defenses fail? Could different decisions have saved lives? Should nuclear facilities have been hit to prevent future attacks? If you follow global conflict analysis, type GCR. The scenario reveals critical lessons about modern warfare. First, missile defense systems have mathematical limits. Saturation attacks can overwhelm any defense if the attacker commits sufficient resources. Second, command decisions under extreme time pressure involve tragic calculations. Protecting everything means protecting nothing adequately. Third, retaliation carries risks of escalation spirals. Each strike invites counter-strikes. Fourth, international response matters. Isolated nations face different calculus than those with alliance support. The Israeli command center remains active. Screens monitor Iranian activity. Satellite feeds show continued military movement. The crisis may pause, but it has not ended. Every defense analyst understands that what happened in this scenario could happen in real conflict. The technology exists. The missiles exist. The adversaries exist. Only the timing remains uncertain. Was escalation avoidable? Could Iranian leadership have chosen different paths? Could Israeli diplomacy have prevented the crisis? Should international actors have intervened earlier? These questions have no simple answers. What decision would you make in that room? Subscribe to Global Conflict Room, inside the room where history changes. The scenarios we present draw from defense analysis, military doctrine, and strategic wargaming. They reflect the reality that modern command centers face, impossible choices under unimaginable pressure. The Iron Dome system represents one of the most sophisticated defense technologies ever deployed. But even sophisticated systems have limits. Understanding those limits matters for policymakers, military planners, and citizens who live under the protection these systems provide. The next crisis may not wait. The next saturation attack may come with less warning. The next decision may allow even less time. Global Conflict Room continues monitoring every flashpoint where these scenarios could transition from hypothesis to history, where command decisions could determine whether cities survive or burn, where the calculations made in underground bunkers could reshape the world. The room remains active, the scenarios continue, the decisions never stop.